PBR, and I'm here to talk to you about some dropper posts. We have five variations that came with these bikes. Pretty much all the all-mountain bikes that come to me these days have dropper posts. Very important tool. It really allows you to descend a mountain bike. If you are into any kind of trail riding, all-mountain riding, it allows you to be a ball of energy on top of your bike that's moving around and not hitting your post. So for cornering, doing drops, the very important basics of descending, dropper post will help you. What I'll talk about is the Crankbrothers Chronolog seat post, a 5-inch post, variable position. So any spot is all good. Pretty easy to activate. On the upswing, it goes very fast in the 3/4 of the travel, and then it slows down. So if you're in the way at the very top part, no problem. It slows way down. But if you're in the way here, you're gonna get hit. One thing with these posts is it requires quite a bit of seat post showing. So this position is at the lowest position of the saddle. Tells you how much room the seat post itself takes. So 2.5 inches minimum is how low you can go, and you add 2.5 inches to 5 inches to 7.5 inches of exposed seat post. If you don't have that much, you can limit the travel of this post. So another thing that makes critical to these seat posts is play. You know, how much play is there? I'm not sure how old this seat post is. It looks very new, but it has a little bit of play here, left to right. Cable is not moving. This can be mounted in front and here, or on the back. It's probably better on the back. Less kinking right here. But you'll notice a little bit of movement, but it's not moving as a whole. So that's the Crankbrothers Chronolog. We go to the trusty old gravity dropper. The gravity dropper is one of the brands that invented the segment, aside from Height Right from 20 years ago. So it's probably the ugliest of the group, with this rubber boot from our front suspension 20 years ago, and it has a cable that just hangs out in the back here. I want to touch my tire, but not quite. To activate it, this is critical actually, is you have to unweight it. If your full weight is here, the lever won't go. So you actually have to lift your weight off, and then the lever will go. After that, it's pretty easy. So you can slam it down, and it has another position in the middle. So it's a 3-position saddle. You kind of have to look for that middle spot. And it's got that very, very fast release. The 3-position, not ideal. You know, you really want infinite position or variable position, but you can make do with three position if needed. Tightness, very tight. So it's a very good interface. Move on to the next one, from probably the earliest brand in the category to the newest. The newest is Fox. This is the Fox DOS seat post. Interesting thing with this, it's got 2 levers, and it's a big lever. It's fairly stiff. The big lever is to just drop it all the way. You have to, like all these, you have to release it to lock it. And the small lever, which works in conjunction, allows you to drop it in that middle position, or the 3/4 position. So you're not, when you hit the small lever, you're not looking for where you're going to end up there, and then just release it and you're right there. So does it work? I'm not really sure, because aside from searching it, other than searching it from here, you have to search the lever. You know, you have to remember that, oh, I want to do the little drop, so I have to hit the black lever, which is stiffer because it doesn't have as much leverage. So I'm not sold on it. It might be working for some people, but it puts another complexity on the rider. So for play, this one's interesting. When you pop it up, there's a lot of play, and then it snaps on. So for some reason, it goes to a level where it's not quite seated, and then it seats. Notice it here. So not huge, because it will lock on, but it's not as natural. So there's the Fox DOS seat post, probably one of the best looking ones of the bunch. Looks like your Fox fork. This one is the specialized command post. So it's a 3-position as well. It's this one of the stiffer ones. You can decrease the air pressure inside to make it easier to press down. There you go. Not super fast, but you still have to get out of the way. There's a middle position, 3/4 position. So very low profile. So you can fit it in a lot of frames. And a 3-position one. The wiggle, very tight on the command post. So we move on to the Walkoff Reverb, a completely different technology. Instead of cable, they use hydraulics inside. So this one, a little bit stiff. Oh, the pressure is a little high on this, but infinitely adjustable and very easy to just activate. The lever is the smoothest of all. Works quite well. The edge of modern day is the Walkoff Reverb internal routing. So this one is just like that one, but the cable is not here. It's actually inside the frame. It's inside the frame, and it comes out through here for the ultimate in stealth and a clean look, and it just works beautifully. And it's a variable lever, so you could actually make it rise very quickly or a little faster. So before we close, another factor that I want to talk about is the clamping technology and reliability. Those are two things that will really affect your decision in seat posts. Clamping, really the standard is 2-bolt, meaning one here and one here, just like Thompson. And because of that, it becomes so easy to adjust the attitude of the saddle, and you have a secure hold once you lock it in place. You know, it's not gonna slide off or pop off on you. The other thing it does is when you actually want to adjust it, you can adjust it easy. A lot of the 1-bolt saddles, you loosen the bolt and the thing is just frozen. So it's very difficult you basically have to hit the saddle and unfreeze it. So there's clamping technology, reliability as well. Very reliable. You have to take this apart and lube it once it gets dirty. But one of the downsides is the bolt. The clamping mechanism is 1 bolt, so it's a little bit harder to keep the attitude of the saddle locked. You know, when you just smash into the saddle, that thing might slip on you, and when you want to adjust it, it's hard to adjust. So it's 1 bolt. This one, the Fox, is a 2-bolt. Reliability, we don't know yet. It's so new. Not a lot of problems yet. Gravity dropper, again, is a 2-bolt. But it takes up a lot of room, so it makes the saddle quite high. But according to reviews on MTBR, this one, you know, it's just the most reliable of the bunch. You know, with anything over 50 reviews. And finally, 1 bolt on the Chronolog. So a little bit harder to to keep the saddle adjusted and in place. And reliability, there's been some issues. Basically, when this cable is not perfectly adjusted and not allow that little movement that you see here, the plate that grabs the seat post will eat away at it, and the thing will start slipping. So when you sit on it, it'll drop about 2 to 3 millimeters or a little more. So a little bit of reliability issues on here. So there you go. It's a whole quick rundown on dropper posts, one of the most important upgrades on your trail bike or all-mountain bike. I think we're missing the KS Slev. Thompson is coming up with a new seat post. We should have that as soon as it's available on for media. But my favorite of the bunch is gonna have to be the RockShox. People have reported problems here and there with bubbles or with fluid bleeding, but once you have that sorted out, as far as ease of use and just disappearing into your ride, this thing is the one that has it dialed. So the RockShox Reverb, especially the